We're live.
Yep, we are live.
We
Hey,
are
it's
live.
Carnivore Kipp. I'm here with my buddy Alia Wells. I've been watching her channel pretty much shortly after I started Carnivore, and so it's been good to get to know her some. And we message back and forth pretty regular. She actually moderates for me on my channel as well, so it's good to have you on here with me tonight, Alia. And I
Thank
appreciate
you.
all you do for me.
Aw, thank you. And I appreciate your support also. It's all
Absolutely.
your comments and everything. Since so I've been I I sorry. I have been with you since you were about 700 subscribers. And then one day overnight you were at like the next day I'm like, "What? How is he at 1,400 subscribers?" It was literally like
I don't
overnight.
even know how all that happened. Honestly, I didn't think when I started a YouTube channel that people would just start coming in to watch the videos. I was just because I was horrible. Like if I go back and watch my first video, it was like
Yeah,
terrible. And then people just started supporting me. I guess people were like could tell that I like really had a lot of weight to lose and they were wanting to like encourage me, you know.
right.
So
And I clicked on the first video, I think, and I said this before we went live that you reminded me of my brother, and you had like this really happy face, and you were like weight loss, and I'm like, oh, I gotta watch this guy, how cool. And then after that video, that inspired me. I'm like, oh no, I gotta do my YouTube channel also. So you
absolutely.
inspired me to
That's
talk about
awesome.
this.
There's a lot of people on here that have inspired me to start a channel, you know, because when I first started, of course, I used to watch a lot of Dr. Barry and things like
Oh, me
that. But
too.
then watching some of the other, especially the smaller channels, kind of got me like, man, I need to start documenting this journey or whatever. I see some people are coming up in the chat now. It just jumped up to 15. Y'all, all of y'all that are in the chat, make sure y'all hit that like button because that really helps us get this out to more people. And if we get more people in the chat, that'll really help the algorithm out and
Yeah,
help the
exactly.
conversation as well.
Sure, yeah, exactly.
I see we got Tam Steaks in the house. They said hello. Charger Mopar's here. Do you know Rick Charger Mopar?
Yes, we've had a conversation before. Yes, Rick is very, very
Okay,
funny,
yeah.
great conversationalist, and very interesting that he's been eating meat for 40 years. Thank you, Rick, for clicking
Yeah, it's
like.
not every day that you meet somebody. Yes, it's not every day that you meet somebody that's been eating meat for 40 something years.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see.
Semi-retired
Allison
Bob's here.
Johnson's here.
Let's see who
Let's
else
see
is
here. I'm gonna
here.
pull. There we go. It's being slow pulling up
Oh,
stuff.
okay.
Yeah, Allison Johnson, she just started her YouTube channel recently. Have you seen one of her videos yet?
I have, and I'm subscribed. I think I've seen her videos. I subscribed, so I must have watched some videos.
Yeah, she's sweet.
Oh, and she's watched mine, and she's chatted on
22
mine,
Q Cats
commented.
here. I love her.
Oh, hey, 22 Q Cat and
Yeah, let's see here.
Joanne Lamberti, grandma from Canada.
Liberty. Yeah. So, but before we get into, I do see that Miss Perfectly Imperfect Keto's here. I'm excited to see her because I know she was out for a little while, and I'm glad that she's back. Let's see here. Before we get into questions or whatever, I wanted to ask you a little bit about that trip that y'all went on because you were saying you
Oh
went on
yeah.
vacation. Tell me about that.
Okay, so we went to a place called, I know it sounds funny, Maweepi, and it's like if you're gonna say it like a gringo, it's gonna be Maguipi, but it's called Maweepi, and it's a hotel. And then from the hotel, we camped at a beach. So you take a boat from the hotel to the beach, and we stayed there for 3 days, and it was awesome. It was awesome. I don't know. Everyone should come visit me in Colombia. I'll take you there. But the food was I didn't figure out the food before, so I just did as best as I could, and I definitely felt not so good for a couple days because they cook it in seed oils and whatever. But no, I wouldn't change it. That experience for the world. We were just hanging out on the beach all day. It was amazing. If you guys want, I did a little video about it. I even jumped
Yeah.
off of something that was
For
at least
anyone,
20 feet out of the water. And that was a little bit scary. Like a platform. Ah! That's in my video
Yeah.
I just posted today.
Before we get into the comments, for anyone that
Yeah.
doesn't know much about your channel, just take a moment and just tell them a little bit about you and how you found carnivore.
Oh, okay, cool. Thanks. So, I heard of carnivore originally a couple years ago from Dr. Berg, and I thought that it was really weird that people could just eat meat. But what was funny is I re-listened to that video recently, and the exact reasons why he said people should do carnivore 2 years ago was probably why I should have started then. And then I watched another interview from Dr. Berg where he interviewed a carnivore who is an American like me living in Ecuador. And so that piqued my interest because Ecuador is in the country right next to me. And that was really interesting. And then YouTube started showing me videos about Dr. Berry, and I just wanted to ignore those for like a really long time, but they kept showing me thumbnails. And then I finally clicked and I was addicted and binging all of Dr. Berry's stuff. So after watching a lot of his stuff and I just decided to do it in March. One day I was like, enough is enough. Oh, Roger Thompson's here. Hello, Roger. Thank you. From my Facebook. Yeah, so after enough Dr. Ken Berry videos, and he's got a nice Southern accent also. Oh, yeah, that's what hooked me. First, Kipp, you looked like my brother, and then you had this Southern accent. I'm like, oh, subscribe immediately. But Dr. Berry's got that Southern accent too. So I'm like, oh, of course it makes sense. So
Yeah,
all
that's
joking
part of the
aside.
reason that I trust Dr. Berry. That's part of the reason that's part of the reason that I trust Dr. Berry so much is because he's got that Southern accent, and whenever I heard that, I was like, he's gotta be telling the truth.
Yeah,
So, I like
exactly.
Dr.
Maybe
Berry.
I should do mine in a Southern accent also. I was in Texas 5 years. my Southern ain't so good. So, hi, I'm
Oh my
Alia.
goodness.
Okay, so back to my YouTube channel. So the day I started Carnivore is the same day I started the YouTube channel, but you inspired me to do my YouTube channel also. And I'm doing it like I think some other people to document and also to like hold myself accountable. And the craziest side effect of doing a YouTube channel is meeting all of you guys, like semi-retired Bob, Charger Mopar, Dave at No Carb Life, like all these amazing people, and we're just like this huge support network. And I wasn't expecting that at all, and that is probably the coolest thing. So come check out my
Yeah.
channel if y'all want.
Yeah, and we got people like Amber and Dan. We got people. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying if you want, come and check out my channel also.
Absolutely. They definitely need to go subscribe to your channel if they haven't yet. And we got people like Amber and Dan in the house too. They've got a channel, and there's other people that show up that have channels. And I like the fact that in the carnivore community, we all pretty much, for the most part, everybody's very supportive. And I haven't really come
Right.
across many people that aren't that way. Hopefully, I don't have to deal with that too much. I have noticed that sometimes I have to deal with spammers in the live stream, and
Oh,
that can be
okay.
real hectic sometimes. But hopefully, we don't have to
Sure.
deal with that tonight. Let's see
It
here.
doesn't help the
And by the
algorithm if someone keeps
way,
commenting.
anybody, if y'all have any questions, put a Q beside your question too.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yes, they will just keep commenting and keep commenting.
Oh, okay. Christy Brown, she says she's in Southern Texas. So I lived in I lived in Irving, Texas for 5 years. I loved it. If I move back to the US, I'm going to Dallas. Oh, and Rick says he was also interviewed by Sean Baker today.
So, since you're living in Colombia now, you are?
Yeah. I live in Colombia, yeah, in South America.
Got you. Well, I knew that. I was saying, you said somebody got, interviewed by Sean Baker today. Was that you?
Oh no, Charger Mopar Rick Rodriguez. He made a comment about that.
Oh. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I'm lagging just a little bit, so y'all bear with me on that. I got that Alabama Wi-Fi, and that Alabama Wi-Fi is not very good.
That's funny. Oh, uh, someone
Let's
mentioned
see
in the
here.
comments, Roger Thompson mentioned that we should put the link to my channel here if you don't mind. I'll pop it in there.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, cool. Let me see if I can figure this out the
Definitely pop
easiest
it in
way
there.
without. I'm still here, everybody. I just clicked away for a second.
Janet said Janet said, I have a southern accent when I use it. Moved from Iowa to southern, I guess southern Missouri, or is that Montana? I'm not sure. But yeah, I definitely got a thick southern accent. And even if I move somewhere, I don't think my accent would change because I mean it's just it runs deep in me. Let's see here.
So my dad's from Kentucky, and whenever he goes back south, but he lives in Chicago, in seconds his accent's back on. It's like he forgets it, but in seconds he'll be his southern accent will be back.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask you too, like since you're living over in Colombia now, do you actually
Yeah.
miss being in the US or have you just fallen in love with being in there? Or what about that?
I love being here, and it's a beautiful country, and I really like it for my kids. Like the culture, I mean, I just think it's a beautiful culture. But yeah, no, there's things I miss about the U.S. Let's see, Walmart. I miss Walmart.
They don't
I
have
miss.
Walmart in Colombia?
No, they really need to. They really need to. Let's see. No, there. I
Wow.
mean,
I thought Walmart was
I,
everywhere.
No, it's not, but it should be. I think it's in Mexico. I do want to say, no, when I go home, I get really like when I'm flying home, I feel really nostalgic and miss it. But then I see the prices of gas, or like last year in Chicago, a price of an avocado was like $6. I'm like, nope, don't miss it that much.
Yeah. And y'all
So,
definitely, for all of y'all that there's 47 people in here now, don't forget
oh
to hit that like
wow,
button and
yeah,
boost the
please.
chat and help get more people in here. I know it's a Thursday night and it's kind of late and a lot of people have work tomorrow, but we just still wanted to get on and just have a conversation because we become pretty good friends.
Yeah, exactly. Via YouTube. So there is
Yeah,
a
it's cool,
question
like the power of
at.
the internet.
Yeah, it's amazing, especially when we meet awesome people. So at 8:40, Aslan 408 has a question at 8:40.
Let me see here. 8:40. Okay, hold on.
Oh, yeah, there you go, 8:39.
So what is the hardest thing about carnivore? You want to answer that first? Go ahead, Alia.
I love everything about it. I think okay, for me right now, I love pork belly, and I'm 4 months into carnivore, and sometimes I eat it and I'll be like nauseated. I'll be super nauseated. So, the hardest thing for me so far is that I need to confront the fact I need to give up the pork belly because nothing else makes me feel nauseated. But I think at the beginning, the hard part would be just stick to it and don't give up even if you feel like poop for a little while, because you're going to feel 1,000 times better once you get through just any transition in the period from however you're eating before to now, if that makes sense. Like, I feel amazing eating this way, and I got myself in a situation where I couldn't eat this way for a few days, and then I felt like poop, and I'm like, I can't wait to get back onto eating carnivore strictly because I know I'll feel better again. So just the beginning might be hard, and you got to stick to it, and don't give up. There you go. That's my answer. Your turn, Kipp.
Yeah, I would say for me, it's probably because before I started carnivore, I used to eat out a lot more, and so the not only the not eating out as much now, but remembering to thaw things out because like I buy a lot of meat when it's on sale. And I
Yeah.
hate it whenever I'm like, man, I need to cook supper, but I forgot to thaw some steaks out, or I forgot to all this different hamburger meat out and I got to speed thaw it really quick. That kind of gets annoying sometimes. But I do some meal prepping and stuff, which helps with it. But just sometimes I'm just in a pinch and I need supper and I'm like, I just wish I could like run in somewhere now and get something quick.
Hmm.
And sometimes I'll get like some bunless burgers somewhere. But just remembering to have things thawed out because when you're on carnivore and you're not eating
Hmm.
out as much, you got to be a little bit more prepared.
Sure. Sure. Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
We
let's
got
see.
any
Oh, I
more
think she
questions
asked the
here?
same. She asked another question about what is the best thing about carnivore. You want to
Okay.
take that?
Oh man, that's a hard question because it's so many things. Let's see. Weight loss, energy, better sleep. Let's see. Oh man, let's see. So many things. Skin improvements. Like I have a whole list of stuff and I should have brought it here. I should have brought the
If you
whole
could
list
only have
here.
one, if you could only have one though.
Oh man, back pain. I'm with you on that. No, scratch that. My menstrual cycle being normal and no more pain is amazing. I mean, sometimes I feel a little something here and there, but it's like light years different. So for all you women out there, this is amazing. It totally like normalizes your hormones. And then second would be the back pain and shoulder pain. Gone.
Yeah, I would say my number one thing is my menstrual cycle also. No, I'm just kidding. No,
Yeah, you don't
no,
have one
uh,
anymore? That's good.
yeah. Nah, nah, the thing for me the thing for me has been, my shoulder pain to for my shoulder to stop hurting. That
Yeah,
I tell people all the time that it, like, above everything else, like, it's great to lose the weight, and it's great to feel better, and it's great that I'm not diabetic anymore, but the fact that my shoulder stopped hurting within 2 weeks of starting carnivore, and it was in severe pain for, like, 3 or 4 years, that alone was worth it for me to keep doing this because that pain was terrible, and it just stopped, and I was just it blew my mind actually that that actually happened.
that's crazy. It's awesome.
So let's see here.
There
Trying to
is a
see if any
question. There's a couple questions. So there's a question at 844. Uh,
here's one at
HWMO Liberty.
8:43 too.
Oh, what? Oh, okay. So, yeah,
Look,
eggs, steak, uh, pork belly. Those are my go-to dishes. Sorry, I'm very boring, but I love that. I love it. It's so simple. Those are steak, number one. Number one is steak. Just, I fried in bacon grease. There you go.
mine is anything that you can put on the smoker, which is just about any meat. Because I love to smoke meat. Oh, I did wanna say too that let me pull him up right here. Everyday Carnivores in the chat tonight, and he was one
Hello.
of the he wasn't my first interview, but he was one of my very first interviews, and he kinda helped my channel out a lot, so I appreciate
Nice.
him being in the chat tonight.
Yeah,
He
thank
said
you.
the hardest thing is avoiding little cheats because those lead to big cheats. Yeah, like,
Right.
when you cheat that, like, one day, one
Hmm.
meal or whatever, sometimes it turns into 2 and a weekend and
Right.
then, like, a whole month.
Yeah. So that is what happened to me all the time on keto. Um, Being on carnivore, I've been pretty strict. Last month, I got rid of the last sweetener, and it was really funny because I fake sweeteners. Because tonight, my son he wanted like stevia with sparkling water and lemon, and I tasted it, and I was like, "Oh no, what am I doing?" And I like spit it out because I had gotten the fake sweeteners out, and that was like the last thing that was making me crave anything was those sweeteners. But no, yeah, the hardest thing is avoiding the cheat. So luckily in my house, we don't have anything to cheat with that I would cheat with, actually. So I'm happy about that. Makes it a lot
Yeah.
easier.
Let's see, I think Amber
Whew.
you wanna read this one?
Yeah, question. How much did y'all eat when you started out versus now? Mm, like before before I started carnivore, I was just like a carbivore. I was a carbivore and I would just snack all the time. So after work, not usually during when I was working. But I think you mean when I started. I think at one point I was eating like a lot at the beginning. And then it changed and I was eating way less. And now I eat like 2 to 3 meals a day. But the quantity seems less. The quantity of food seems less. You know, I'm going to say this. Around my period, I want to eat more. And I usually feel like I should eat more. I want to make sure that that time period is like I'm not over dramatic and emotional, so I eat more. And other times I eat less. I don't know. I just don't keep track of it. I eat when I'm hungry. So sorry if that doesn't totally answer the question. What about you, Kip?
Yeah, well, I didn't ever eat like more per meal whenever I started carnivore. Like, uh, I probably eat like a pound, sometimes a pound and a quarter to a pound and a half per meal, and I eat 2 meals a day, so I'm probably eating about either 2 and a quarter to 2.5 pounds of meat per day.
Yeah.
And but I would say at first, whenever I started, I was having a third meal as well. So I was probably eating more than 3 pounds, about 3 pounds to 3.25 pounds of meat per day. And then that kind of slowly got back to about 2 to 2.25, 2.5 pounds. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. Because normally, if I
Nice.
eat lunch or something, it's going to be like I'll take a roll of hamburger meat and I'll just eat that as my meal. And then I'll do
Oh,
something
okay.
similar or like a steak or something for supper.
Okay. Nice.
So that's pretty much what I'm doing. I'm trying to see if I missed any comments right here because the last one was there. Oh, here's one here. Do you think the shoulder pain radiating from your gallbladder liver area, like from fatty liver issues? I'm not sure. I just know that it hurt bad and it hurt for a long time, and I had a lot of inflammation. And I think when I took the carbs out and I added the fat, which helps with all that, and then I took out the vegetable oils and all that stuff. I think it was a lot of
Mhm.
things combined that just really, really helped it, but I don't know for sure.
Yeah, my shoulder pain, I have no idea because I was watching some videos and a video from Dr. Berg said to take, what is it called? Bile salts? Bile salts, I think, bile something, and that would probably help. So I did that, and that just gave me diarrhea, and it didn't help my shoulder pain. But within 2 weeks of being on carnivore, similarly, my chronic shoulder and back pain went away. I mean, sometimes I still feel a little bit, but it's not like what it was, and I'm not begging my husband for a massage all the time. So, or or I don't feel the need to take a some pain medicine for it. But that so I don't know if it came from gallbladder, but when I took the bile salts, it didn't really help. And I think that just flushed the gallbladder out even more.
Yeah,
Oh,
Liberty said that they
yo.
cheated today with birthday
Yep.
cake, and it made me feel sick. Yeah, sometimes when you cheat
Sure.
like that, it has a
Mhm.
way of, like, bringing you down a notch and just, like, the next day, you're just like, "I can't believe I done that," and
Yeah.
I can't say too much because I've done it multiple times since I've started carnivore, so I can't just be like, "Oh, I've never cheated," because I know that I
Mhm.
have, but,
Yeah.
um like, whenever I do it, I pay for it later, and I just
Right.
feel like garbage the next day.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly. Me too. I don't I'm trying to think. Like this weekend I cheated, but it was because of the food that I had available to eat, and I definitely felt like crud after. But I also was exercising a lot. Um, but no, yeah, you feel it. You feel it. Like my sleep the last 2 nights wasn't the best. It was since being on carnivore, my sleep has been ridiculously improved. I was like telling my husband before the live stream, "Don't let me fall asleep," because I was lying down with the kids, and I would now I'm falling asleep with my kids at like 7:30 at night. But last night it was like midnight before I could fall asleep, and my mind was just going. And I think it had to do with the food that I was eating over the weekend. So, yeah, no, I hate cheating now, actually. I hate cheating because you feel terrible instantly or very fast.
Bob said he always ate huge, went from an extra large pizza for just me to a 3 pound roast for just me. Yeah, I think Bob only does 1 meal a day. If I remember correctly, he does 1 meal a day, and so he crushes that 3 pound roast in 1 meal. I used to tear the pizzas up like a whole big large pizza or whatever, or whenever I would go to like fast food places, I would get like if they had like a big burger, some type of monster burger or something, I would get 2 of them and then get a fry, and then I would get 2 drinks. That way I could have like a sweet tea for while I was eating my food, and then after I got done eating my food, I'd have an extra sweet tea for the ride. So, like, it was just terrible. So
Yeah.
I know all about that. I'm glad that I'm not living like that right now.
Oh, yeah, me too. Me too. I think the last time I had pizza was right before I started carnivore. I'm like, I'm gonna eat a pizza, and then you just feel terrible. You don't even feel good. It's only mouth pleasure.
When I grow up, I wanna be like Rick because he says, "How could anyone actually wanna eat cake?" Like, I still have those little desires sometimes to eat stuff like that, and hopefully,
Yeah.
if I've done carnivore for 40 years like Rick, I'll think the same way about cake.
Yeah, I hope me too. Me too.
Yeah, because right now, I mean, if I saw a cake sitting in front of me, I mean, I wouldn't want it, but, I mean, I would still be like, "Man, that looks good."
Yeah, no, for me, I feel I don't feel it looks
Don't
good. Because I know how I'm gonna physically feel afterwards.
let's
Uh,
see.
who else got some questions here? Oh, okay. Here I can answer this.
You can take this one.
Eat more butter. That's my answer to combat strong feelings to cheat. If you feel like cheating, eat the butter. There you go. That helps me. I don't feel bad. And make sure you're not eating fake sweeteners.
Uh, yes. And I've learned too about the things that have natural flavors, like the bubbly that I was
Hmm.
drinking that had natural flavors in it, and even though it doesn't say that it's an artificial sweetener or whatever, those natural flavors have a way of tricking your brain into think you're having sugar because it makes the drink taste like
Hmm.
sugar. If you drink a like I used
Right.
to love the strawberry bubbly. When you drink a strawberry bubbly, it tastes kinda like you're drinking a strawberry drink, and so your brain can't actually tell the difference. So,
Right.
it causes, like, insulin responses and all that stuff. But, oh, and Corey Andrews has helped my channel out a lot recently. I'm actually, smoking some beef jerky before too long whenever I have some free time, and I'm gonna send him some because he's helped me out a lot. He's a good guy.
Nice. Thank you,
Let's see
Corey.
here.
Okay, so we got 854 HWMO Liberty has a question about air fryers.
8 alright, let me see here.
8:54 p.m. Yeah.
Okay, I
No, I
see it.
don't. I keep thinking I should buy one. I don't have one.
The only thing you should ever cook with in your whole life is a smoker. Nothing else. No. Like, I love cooking with smokers. We actually have an air fryer, but, like, I don't really hardly ever use it, and my wife, she'll use, like, uh, the crock pot sometimes, or she'll use her Instapot sometimes, but, like, I mean, I normally I'm just outside smoking meat all the time.
Nice, nice. I wish I could. My patio's like this big, so I don't have a place to like put it, and I live in an apartment complex. But when I move to a farm and buy some cows,
You
I'm
need a
gonna do
smoker
that.
this big.
Yeah, okay. That's a good idea. Let's see.
Alright,
What
y'all
other
get your
questions we got
questions in
here?
if y'all
Yeah, get your questions.
got
Any questions? Any and
questions.
all questions. Let's see.
Karen,
I'm looking also. Hey, make sure y'all press the
I
like,
tried to pull one up right
smash the
here.
like. Oh, I used to do the stevia in the coffee, and I
Yeah,
got
hit
rid of it
that
to help me get rid
like
of my.
button.
Yeah,
Karen said,
please.
"I use stevia in my coffee."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I've cut out all that artificial stuff, basically. I've cut out, like and the only thing I don't even drink coffee, I only drink water or either this right here, I have a soda stream, and, so but the basically what people normally make their sodas with, but I just take it and then I carbonate the water, and then I just drink the carbonated water with nothing in it, and it kinda makes me feel like I'm drinking a soda without having all the fake stuff in it or whatever. Allison has a question right here too.
Oh, okay.
Do either of you have
Ah,
dreams where you cheat almost 6 months on carnivore and still do? I do sometimes, like, sometimes I will have they call them carb mares, where you'll be dreaming and you'll wake up and realize that you didn't actually eat all that stuff, and then me, when it happens to me, I'm thankful whenever I wake up. I'm like, "Thank God that was just a dream."
yeah, it's awesome. Um, I no, until this weekend when I was camping and I did eat I ate some carbohydrates, and then the first time I ever had a nightmare about cheating and eating was a pizza actually, and it was just so surreal because I've heard of people having this issue and I never did until this weekend.
Yeah, I have definitely done it before, but let's see here. I
Any
had something.
good
Oh, so
Karen
I had
says
another
it's
question for
hard for
you
me. Yeah.
while we're looking for questions.
Hmm.
Hold on, while we're looking for questions, I had another question for you.
Sure.
Heck, now my mind went blank. What was it? Uh, what was I gonna ask you? It'll come back to me in a
Anything.
minute. My mind just went.
Anything. Okay.
Let's see here. Oh, so do you have? I just thought of something else.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
a lot of us when we start carnivore, we have like we try to come up with like a why or a reason why or anything. Do you have
Yeah.
like a why? Do you have a certain reason that made you decide to do this?
I was miserable about how my weight was going and I couldn't figure out any other reason. And I had like IBS for not diagnosed, but for years of diarrhea issues, bloating, feeling bad. And I was big into salads a lot, various times, maybe not all the time, but like there'd be times when I would eat a lot of salad. And then I would just see it in the toilet and I thought something was wrong with my digestion. Like the salad would go in and come out into the toilet. Anyways, this is part of the
Mhm.
IBS. But no, the IBS, that's why I said in one of my first videos, and I was really not happy. I was like almost 210 pounds, and I don't like to say depressed, but I was definitely very unhappy about my weight. And so that's why I started. But now I'm telling people my why is I want to be 100 years old in one day, and I'm gonna go how I want to go, lying down one night. You know what I mean? But I want to live to be 100, and I want to see my great grandkids and be able to play with them. Oh,
You
this
can
is a
take this
great
question
question.
too.
Sure. What took me to Colombia? I was working for my church, and then I ended up doing some stuff with my church in Bogota, and I met my husband here, and that's how I came to Colombia originally. And when I met him, we moved back. We moved back to Colombia. We moved to the U.S. and we moved back to Colombia. So the next part of the question is: do you find it easy to do carnivore with fresh butcher markets? Yes, actually, we have a butcher, and they deliver to us every couple days, and that is very easy to find. It's hard to find the same cuts that we'd easily find in the US, and we're still trying to figure out how to translate them over because apparently in every South American country, the different cuts of the beef are different. There you go.
Hmm. I see another question right here, and y'all keep putting your questions in. Q, is it hard socializing with friends since you've been on carnivore? How about you, Alia?
Mm-mm, not hard at all because they love grills here. We have a lot of steak grills here, so everyone knows that I love a steak. So I'll just order steak and they'll order whatever they want, and I'm all good. So it's not hard. I know, like when I first started, people, if I would go to my friend's house, they would still offer me crackers because I guess they have to be polite, even though they know I'm not going to eat it. But to be polite, they'll offer crackers or cookies or something. But there you go. Not hard for me. What about you?
It was a It was a little hard for me at first because in the South, because I live in Alabama, so in the South, everything revolves around food. Like any gathering is like the main thing. They don't even care about like who all's coming. They're all worried about what are we eating, like what sides is going to be there, and like it's just this whole big thing. So it was hard at first because like so people were so used to me making certain side dishes and certain
Hmm.
like ways that I would glaze the ribs and things like that, and all that's
Yeah.
changed since I started carnivore, and so that took some people some getting used to, and,
Right.
a lot of people probably thought when I first started that this was only gonna be a temporary thing, and here I am 6 months later still doing this, but now
Right.
it's got to the point that they know pretty much if people invite me to their house or anything, they pretty much know, "Hey, we need to make sure we got a steak or some hamburger meat or something that he can eat because they've kinda figured out how I do things."
Yeah, exactly. I understand. Can you pull up this comment? Oh, I have a comment when we're done with this carnivore. Oh yeah, that sounds great. That sounds great. There's a comment at 9 o'clock
Yeah, I
from
haven't made
B
any of the pizzas or whatever. I haven't made any of that stuff. Where's that comment at that you were wanting me to pull up?
9 o'clock from B Meetsy Brooke.
Oh,
No, different one. It's down a little, I think. It talks about sardines.
okay.
And I want to explain that a little bit.
Okay. Hold on. Let me see here.
Okay, so
Is this one?
yes, yeah, it's this one. So I did the sardine challenge for 3 days, and I bought a bunch of sardines, like tons of sardines, and I was gonna try to get sardines for a week. Day one, after my first can of sardines, I smelled bad, and I haven't smelled bad. I haven't been using deodorant, but day one, I smelled bad. Day two, but I wasn't hungry. That was the really funny thing. Day two, I think I wasn't hungry because I just didn't want to eat another sardine, so I waited as long as possible to eat again. And by and I was feeling weak and bad. And then, oh wow, oh no, my screen just went off for a second. And then day three, I'm like, I went to the bathroom and what she's talking about happened. It wasn't totally like, it sounds a lot worse there than it was, but I was wiping my butt and there was definitely blood there. I'm like, I'm out. I'm done with the sardine game. But I don't think it was the sardines. I think it was the oil that it was in. I think the oil was a problem and it might have been bad oil. It might have not been olive oil or it was rancid or something. So if I ever try it again, which I don't think I will, I'll have to find them in water and see what happens. But I'm a little bit nervous about
Yeah,
eating sardines.
I actually like sardines because I had them a lot when I was a kid growing up, but not for health
Okay.
reasons. We just kinda it was something quick in a can that you could have,
Right.
but,
Right.
so we had them pretty regular. So they don't, like, gross me out like they do some people, but I don't
Yeah.
know for sure if I wanna do, like, the sardine fast or whatever, or maybe that
Yeah.
might be something that I keep in my back pocket for, like, some rainy day when I'm having a stall that I can't get past, I'll do the sardine
Right.
fast.
Yeah, I know. I
Or
mean, I lost
let me
like
see.
I lost like 4 pounds in 3 days. I have gained it all back since that fast. I gained it all back, but
That's what
but
a
I
lot
just
of
wanted to
people notice
explain it.
too whenever they go on the large fast where they just, don't eat nothing for like a week or whatever.
Yeah,
And then,
yeah,
yes, you can lose the weight, but like as soon as you start eating again, I mean, the weight's gonna start coming back. So
yeah,
kinda
exactly.
defeats
I
the
mean,
purpose a little bit.
I did a short about it. That's the only time I've ever learned about food moderation. Is going to eat only sardines. You just don't want to eat anymore.
Let's
Oh,
see
there's
here.
another question.
So what
Oh, go ahead with
w
your question, and I'll tell you
let
this
me know
next
where
one.
it's at. Hold on, I
It's
see
at
one right here.
903
No, that wasn't a
HWM Lewis.
question, that was just someone saying that they're from Crestview, which is just not
Oh,
far from where I live.
oh, nice. Yeah, there's another one in here at 903. Yeah, that one.
You can take it.
Oh, yeah, no, haven't heard that. I have a friend who has some kidney issues, and I know that his doctor he couldn't eat meat at all for a while, but his kidneys I don't think were destroyed at all by meat. Um, yeah, there you go. But I don't think so.
They just need to look up Dr. Berry kidneys because
Yeah,
he talks about that I've heard him talk about that multiple times. I'm not a doctor and I don't remember every detail that he said,
yeah,
but he pretty much explained it really well that you don't need to be worried about that. So, and I on this one, I'm just gonna have to take his word for it because, I trust the man.
yeah. Me too. Me too. All right, there is another question at 903. Kimberly Lane, my
Let's
friend
see
Kim.
here. Kimberly Lane at
She's a nurse.
903.
BSNRN 903. It doesn't have a Q in front of it. So that's why I started the YouTube channel. Another reason to start the YouTube channel so I could talk to people who would listen to me. Because people do ask me now that so I've lost like 25-ish pounds. It changes, water weight, but I look totally different. and I still think I need, thank you so much. I look very different. So people are like, wow, you've lost so much weight. So then I tell them what I'm doing. And then some are like, oh, I want to do that. And some are like, well, you need to eat salad, you know. But I'm happy to do the
Which it's crazy when they say salad because there's almost no nutrition in salad.
yeah, or you need to eat your vegetables. You can't eat like this forever. But I think you can actually. Um, so risk getting on their nerves and making them mad. Yeah, yeah. That's why we should all do YouTube. We'll find the people who want to talk to us.
Yeah, it's so much easier to just talk to y'all and not talk to people in my real life because I mean, y'all totally get me, you know.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly,
let's see.
exactly.
Oh,
All
here's a
right.
question. Let's see here. Did you guys take measurements when you started? I was blown away this past weekend on how many inches I've lost. It feels amazing. I didn't take measurements. I kind of wish that I would have taken measurements, but I didn't. But I have noticed so I was wearing like this massive belt and like I was on the very last loop because I was almost about to need a bigger belt. And since I started, I went all the way down through all of those loops and then I had to buy this. I bought the same exact belt in a smaller size, and I'm like 3 loops in on that belt. So I can tell by my belt, loops that I'm definitely losing inches.
That's awesome. I didn't. I know that I was a size 18 Old Navy, and I don't have an Old Navy here, but I bought a pair of pants. It was a size 16. I don't think the sizes are equal though, but 18 to 16 is still less. I didn't take measurements, but on May 23rd, I just pulled up my grid. That's why I'm looking at a grid on my computer here. May 23rd, my husband took my measurements, and then we just did it again last night. I'm trying to look through it. So that's half an inch. That's like 2 inches. I'm counting. I'm trying to just look at it rapidly. Another 2 inches, 4 inches, 4.5 inches, 5 inches. I've lost like 6 inches, like overall in the last month. And I think in that same time period, I lost 3 pounds. But I think the inches makes it look a lot different than just the pounds. Oh, since May 23rd, I've only lost like 3.2 pounds, but I've lost 6-ish inches off my body. So I'm gonna keep doing the inches, and that's awesome that you have been tracking your inches.
Yeah. Mountain Show asked me, what am I down to now? So when I started in January, I was 486 pounds, which wasn't even my highest. At my highest, I was 498 at the doctor. And so I never made it to 500 pounds, but I've been right there close to it. And the last time I weighed, I was 398 pounds, but I've actually decided, and I don't know about you, Alia, and you can let me know, do you weigh that much? Because I don't weigh that much now
Sure.
because
Yeah.
I kept noticing issues whenever I would get on the scale. Like if it went up a couple pounds, then I would freak out. So I've kind of
Yeah.
decided to just, at least for this month or the next couple months, to just not focus so much on the scale. So I'm under 400 pounds. I'm in the 300 club, but I'm trying to
Nice.
transition from just focusing on the scale.
Yeah, I think that's the best. I do unfortunately like I even stepped on the scale this morning, but I think I'm gonna put it in the closet so that I stop looking at it. So I stopped looking at it. I started maybe look at the scale like the first 3 weeks you do carnivore because you're gonna get rid of lots of water weight really fast. Like I lost 18 pounds or something in 3 weeks, maybe a month. And then since then I've lost another 10 pounds maybe in the last 3 months. So those first weeks, yeah, look at the scale and then hide it. Look at the scale and then hide it away in the closet so you don't get discouraged because I understand you might feel like a little discouraged. Um, there you go. It says I've been carnivore
You
since
want to take this one?
4-1. BBBBE. I've cut out dairy but hit a stall. What do you suggest? Doing BBBBE currently for July challenge. This is what I suggest. Note down starting right now and go retrospectively and write down anything else that's not weight loss. Like write down every single win or success you've had on carnivore, and then keep writing down the successes that you've had, that you continue to have, and then changes that you notice, because then you're going to realize that you're not actually stalled. Like I said, I've lost like 10 pounds in the last 3 months, but I had a scar heal from a C-section I had 5 years ago, and I'm like, wow, that's way cool. Are you sleeping better? I just don't think that people are really stalled. I think your body is healing what it needs to heal first, and it's going to prioritize what to heal. But you can't really see what's going on inside your body. So maybe you feel like the scale is your enemy. We were just talking about that. Suggestion: write down the successes as you see them instantly. Even it could be like you don't wear deodorant anymore, your skin feels smoother. Write anything down and ignore the scale, and that's how you're going to be successful. Like ignore it for a month and take your measurements. There you go. That's my suggestion.
Yeah. How are folks preparing sardines? I bought them, but they're sitting in my cupboard. Do you make your own mayo sardines by themselves? I don't make my own mayo, and normally whenever I eat sardines, I just eat them straight out the can. And like I like to take them sometimes and put a little bit of hot sauce on them, and I like to eat them like that. And but I mean, some people like putting mustard on them or whatever. But I mean, I don't eat them all the time, but if I do, I like to put hot sauce on them. What about you?
I just ate them out of the can. My husband's like, add some salt, it'll taste better. I added salt, it tastes a little better. That's how I ate them. I just got them down as fast as possible.
Yeah, salt makes everything better.
Salt makes everything better. Yeah. We got some more questions here. Let's see.
Have y'all had any hair loss on carnivore? I mean, I don't have a lot of hair to start with, but I haven't noticed any hair loss. What about you, Alia?
Well, today I was combing my hair and a lot of hair was coming out, but I don't think that has to do with carnivore. I have a thyroid condition, and so hair loss is part and parcel apparently of a thyroid condition. Also, I was at the beach all weekend and my hair was it was the first time I combed it. Maybe that's why. So not specifically, but today I did notice a lot of hair coming out on my brush.
Yeah, I like what Bob said. Let me pull up.
What did Bob say?
He said, "Carnivore is so good. I must tell people, even if they don't want to hear it. It's like sharing the gospel. I
Yes.
would have to truly despise someone to worry about them getting mad sharing either." Yeah,
Right.
sometimes like I mean, it feels like you for me it feels like you get this big revelation and you want to share it with other people because you see the way that we've all been lied to for so long, and
Right.
like by the food industry, by even our doctors even, and it's kind of upsetting, whenever you realize how things have really been handled for
Mhm.
so long,
Mhm.
and like our health has been put on the back burner because a lot of things are about money now, and
Right.
so so yeah, sometimes whenever when it started clicking with me, I wanted to go crazy sharing it with everybody, but sometimes like I've realized that some people like get tired of hearing it, so I kind of have to be quiet a little bit. But what about you?
Yeah, I agree completely. I do want to tell everybody about it, and I
Yeah.
start telling everybody about it, and sometimes I try to do a little bit of an opposite. Like I do carnivore, but it's probably not for you. And maybe that'll get them a little bit more interested. Well, why isn't it for me? Sort of thing. And then you can start your conversation. Carnivore is not for everybody. And I
So
don't
you're using
I don't
psychology.
sort of, but not all the time. If people ask me why I'm losing weight, I'll tell them. But yeah, I feel the same. It's like sharing the gospel. John Knapp has a question at 9:16.
Let me see here. 9:16. I'm scrolling down. I'm at 9:14,
John Knapp.
9:15.
No,
Do
that's the
you
answer,
eat
right?
much? Huh?
No, no, I don't eat much chicken or fish. I ate some fish this weekend, and it wasn't like it was before. I didn't really like. I was good, but it wasn't like how I used to love fish, and I just don't like chicken anymore. So no.
I don't really like chicken anymore either unless it's chicken wings. I love chicken
Mm,
wings, but, and I like to smoke them. But anyway, fish, I don't eat much fish anymore either. I will if that's all that I have around me, but now I do love shrimp. Like, I live on the Gulf Coast,
mm,
so I live
mhm.
right there close to the water, and so I love to go out and get seafood, fresh seafood and stuff like that. But I don't do that, like, but maybe once or twice a month, and,
Okay,
just because I love seafood.
sure. There was another question. 916 HWMO Liberty. Here. Yep, I do. Iodine drops right here. And electrolytes, I just right now I'm just mainly salt. Sometimes potassium if I feel like it. But I'm doing one drop of this every day in my water, my iodine.
The only electrolytes that I use is, I mean, I just salt my food. I don't buy any of the electrolytes from any of the companies. Maybe I should, but the iodine should, is that something that I should be doing? I mean, I live close to the ocean, so I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I'm eating seafood and things like
Right.
that. So I don't know if I'm still short on it or if I'm getting enough.
I don't know. I think if you live close to the water, close to the ocean, maybe you get a bit more. Maybe you get a bit more. I don't know. What other questions do
Yeah,
we
I
have?
think Dr. Berry was even
Oh,
saying that if you live close enough to the water, even the animals that are land animals are still getting amounts of iodine in them from being close. Like, if a farmer raises cattle close to the ocean, they would somehow get some of the iodine as well.
yeah, exactly, exactly. Another question at from B Mitzi, is club soda great for electrolytes? I don't know. I was drinking some club soda. Apparently it has a little bit of potassium. It's at 919, sorry.
Let's see here. I don't see it. My internet is being slower than usual for some reason right now, and it's taking me
Oh,
a
okay.
while to, it's taking me a minute to scroll down there. I apologize, everybody.
Okay.
The Alabama, I see it now. So I don't even use club soda. I don't know the difference between club soda and, like, carbonated water. Is there much difference to it?
I think there's some salt potassium in there. I think so on club soda. I think that's why I do drink a lot of
Got you.
carbonated water.
I got you. I'm trying to see if there's any more comments or any more questions right here. We may be caught up on questions.
I think we
Uh,
are. I think we're all
let's
caught
see.
up.
We're caught up on questions. So let me see. So now we just sit here and we don't know what to say. No. uh, so
No, I can
uh,
talk all night.
what is your? I did have a couple things that I could ask you if while people come up with questions
Sure,
or whatever. So do you have like an
sure,
ideal body weight or what you think would be your optimal weight to get to eventually?
sure. So when I was 27, I got down to a weight that I liked, and I was 100 and maybe 27 or 130 pounds. So I don't know if I can get back down to that. That was pre children, pre whatever. But I have a pair of shorts from when I was 100, when I was 27 years old. And as soon as I get into those shorts again, I will be at my ideal body weight. I don't care how much I weigh as long as I fit those shorts.
Yeah. For me, like, okay, so like I'm like severely obese. So if I
Mhm.
could get below 300 pounds, I will take anything after that. I don't care what the number is. If it's under
Right.
300 pounds, I'm going to be happy.
You're
So,
gonna get there.
oh yeah, I'm going to be there. My body has no choice but to do this because I'm going
Yeah,
to do what it takes
exactly.
to make it happen.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
yeah, I'm committed to it.
Because you're the
So,
boss of that body.
what'd you say?
You're the boss of that body.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, it just needs to get in line,
Yeah, exactly.
so and it may take time, and that's what I'm learning
Sure.
too, like, I was trying to rush it in the
Mhm.
beginning, like, I was like, "Oh my goodness, I need to lose 150 50 pounds in 6 months, or I need to lose this much. And now I've kind of been like, because I was kind of getting discouraged because I had only lost almost 90 pounds in 6 months. And then I'm like, dude, you lost 90 pounds in 6 months. When have
That's
you ever done that before? And I was
yeah,
over here I was getting mad because I didn't lose more than that. And that's why now I'm just like, I'm gonna get there. I just need to relax and just do what I'm supposed to do and just give it time and let my body heal.
right. Yeah, exactly. And I'm 100% with you on that. And
Yeah, and while
let's
they
see.
come up, if maybe some people can come up with more questions, but in the meantime, I had one more for you. So, what was the hardest thing for you to quit whenever you started
Oh
carnivore?
man. Cheese, and I'm doing that this month. And dairy.
Oh, I did
But
that last
butter.
month.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You inspired me to do that. And also carnivore trucker. He inspired me to do that. But because like cheese, I could just get a pound of cheese and I would literally just sit and eat it.
Yeah,
Even if I wasn't hungry, it's like it's just it's it's not like you're addicted to it until you start eating it. So
yeah.
you got some more. Oh, go ahead.
I do got more questions now.
Yeah.
So let me
Um,
see here. Let me go pull it up. Get back to
we
them.
got 921. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
Oh, here's one right here. Kip, would you
Yeah.
get surgery to remove loose skin when you get down to your goal weight? It honestly, for me, it just depends. Like, I'm not opposed to it if that's what I need to do. Of course, I would prefer to not have to do that, because I know that's a lot on your body, and like, a lot of people say it's painful and takes time to heal, and
Mhm.
it costs a lot of money as well.
Mhm.
But I mean, whenever I get down to that goal weight, by then I'll have lost like 250 pounds. So, I mean, there's a high probability that I might need weight loss. I mean, not weight loss surgery, but skin removal surgery. Uh, so if I have to do that, then I'll just have to cross that bridge when I get there, I guess.
Yeah. Having had two C-sections and being cut open two times, I don't recommend surgeries. They're so painful to recover from. If you don't have to,
Yeah,
you know,
Yeah,
there you
I'll
go.
do what I have to do if I have to do it. Oh, this is the same thing. They're talking about saggy skin.
Yeah.
I haven't had a major issue yet. I mean, a lot of people like to like tone up, and can you think of anything else that other little tricks and remedies that people do to help with
Um,
their skin?
I think fasting helps. I've heard that fasting and doing carnivore apparently, I don't know, Janet, how much you have lost and how much skin you have, but I've heard that fasting helps with the skin issue. I don't know. I don't know if I will have saggy skin. Like I don't look like I'm very big, but I'm like 5'3" and I'm 185 pounds, so I'm like skinny from here up. But I don't know what's gonna happen when I lose more weight.
Kimberly had a good question about our YouTube channels. Do you have any help with it? What's your strategy plan, etc.? What you want to go first?
My strategy is to keep talking to my friends on YouTube and hopefully people like my content. There's a guy, okay, here for everyone doing YouTube, there is a video by the YouTube channel called Veritasium. Go watch a video called titles and clickbait or something like that. It's a very good video on how to get people to click on your thumbnails and your titles. That's all I got to say. But other than keep talking with my friends and making friends, I don't have a strategy. And keep making content. That's the best strategy.
Yeah. And me, like a lot of people don't realize how much work's involved with it. Like, cause I have like, things going on outside of YouTube, like work and wife and
Mhm.
kid. You understand that
Yeah.
you're married and you have a family. And so
Mhm.
it takes time to do it, and the editing process, and like I
Yeah.
didn't know nothing about any of that stuff when I started. I still have to watch videos like sometimes on how to edit this or how to do that. So watch some videos and learn, but then also just I'm a firm believer in just be yourself and like,
Mhm.
you because you want people to like the real you. You don't want to be some fake person on here.
Right.
There's enough fake people on YouTube. YouTube needs more just real people.
Right.
Um,
Exactly.
and have fun with it and document your journey along the way. I seen where Bob said it had a good answer to that question about skin removal. So let me put it up here.
Yeah,
If
exactly.
it's
I saw that.
medically required, get the surgery, but I wouldn't. If you do intermittent fasting, the autophagy will tighten your skin over time. Just have vitamin P. And if y'all don't know what vitamin P is, that's vitamin P is patience. So you need to have vitamin P and intermittent fast because if you do that, it will help tighten your skin over time. I
Yeah.
haven't done a lot of like fast. I guess I do 2 meals a day mainly. Sometimes I do
Mhm.
three, but mainly I do 2 meals a day. But I don't do any of the like extended 48-hour, 72-hour fast. Eventually, I may start doing some of that, which might, uh, for one, help the weight loss, but then also help with like skin issues and stuff like that.
Yeah. There's a question right above his
So
comment
let
from
me see
Thomas at
here.
924.
Kip, you cheated a few times. Are the cravings getting less the longer you are on carnivore? I would say yes, the cravings have gotten less. I've just got more courage and more I've just got more. I don't know what the right word is, but I'm just I see food differently. Like when I walk
Mhm.
into a grocery
Mhm.
store and I see the different food on the shelf, a lot of it makes me mad because I was getting that stuff like put in my face for all those years and like they were just begging me to buy that stuff and it was destroying my health and it would have eventually killed me if I didn't figure out a
Mhm.
way to stop or break those habits and quit eating that stuff. So, but I will say that the times that I have cheated, it takes me a little while to get back to a place where like, I'm comfortable and I'm not scared that I'm gonna slip up again. Cause like if I cheat for a couple days, then like for even up to like a week after that, like with me back to eating meat, I'm still kind of thinking in the back of my mind about, man, but that cereal did taste good or that whatever tasted good. But then usually over time of doing like I'm supposed to, that kind of just kind of fades out for me. What about if you want to answer that too, you can give thoughts.
I think yes, the longer you do carnivore, the cravings get easier and get less. And I think you got to have like, make sure you're not doing sweeteners. That is what the last that kept the cravings going for me. If I have kept the fake sweeteners in there, so if you're doing that, get those out of there as fast as you can. And and yeah, and then eat more butter. That's what I always say about that. If I crave something, just eat more butter.
Do you ever have too like what you would call too much butter though? Because I love butter. I love the way it tastes, and I put it on my ribeyes. But sometimes if I have just a little bit too much, you know what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah, I had
do
that.
you ever have
I
to deal
had
with that, or
not
do you
yeah,
just eat all the
today.
butter
Yeah,
you want?
today. Today that happened. I was, like, eating too much butter, and then it was just a little bit faster than I wanted in the bathroom.
Yeah, it can happen. So you wanna have the butter and things like that. Or I use tallow a lot too, like beef
Mhm.
tallow, and you those things are great, but I mean,
Yeah.
you can also you'll know if you're having too much because every time you go to the toilet, it's
Yeah. Yeah,
Let's see
exactly.
what
One
question.
thing can you go back to that question? I thought of one more thing. I'm sorry. Um,
Hold on. Which one was
it
it?
was
I forgot which
the
one I was
it was
clicked
the
on.
I
Do you
was
just
just
remember the question?
yeah, basically, like, when you eat till you're, like, stuffed, a little bit more than comfortably stuffed, and eat high-fat meats, and that's gonna help with the cravings also, because if you're stuffed, you're not gonna wanna eat anymore for a long period of time, so you gotta eat enough during when you feel like eating, and that should help with the cravings also. Okay. All right. I can answer this
Tracy Webb
question.
says, question, do you yeah, you go ahead and answer it.
Get the stuff out of your house. Don't have it in your house, and then you're not going to have it like out of sight, out of mind. But yeah, no, I used to eat like these two. I used to eat a lot of popcorn. We make popcorn or snacks or something and watch movies or whatever. But if you get that stuff out of your house, you're not going to be so inclined to eat it. And back to what I just said, when you eat your meal, eat enough high fat meat so you don't feel like eating more for the rest of the night. But if that stuff is in your house tempting you, it's really easy to go back into it. That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah, and I would add too that, like, you didn't say how long you've been doing carnivore, but I
Mm.
recognize the name, so I'm pretty sure you've been doing carnivore for a while. And like, if I was sitting here with Dr. Anthony Chafee or whatever, he would probably say something like, if you like, something like, if you're craving certain things, you just need to eat more of the good things, like
Mhm.
to because if you eat a bunch of bacon or whatever, usually that will, like, help you with the cravings of other things. Or if you
Right.
eat, like, enough steak, maybe you're not eating quite enough and you might need to eat just a little bit more to help you with whatever. Because 'cause there's been, like, for example, if I, um if I'm very, very hungry, or if I'm hungry and I go to Walmart and I grocery shop, the stuff that's on the aisles is more appealing to me than if I go to Walmart and I just ate a huge ribeye and I'm just walking through doing my grocery shopping. It's like a totally different experience, because if I've ate a good fatty ribeye, or I've ate some bacon and eggs or something like that, that other stuff will not pop
Mhm.
out to me like it
Right.
would if I was hungry.
Yeah, exactly.
So
There is a question, Sally Hum at 9:30 p.m.
I don't know. I think I just seen that. It should be coming up. You go ahead.
Okay. I got started on carnivore after long failures at keto and watching lots of Dr. Berry, and I started March 1st. And I also watched Dr. Chafee, and then I watched people like Kipp, and I got started. Um, or maybe I started watching Kipp when I started, but I started yeah, probably around the same time. Anyways, can't do it halfway and can't seem to go full carnivore. So I guess my question, I have another question for you, so you can put it in there, Sally, is uh, what is halfway? Are you still eating vegetables or are you still eating junk? More junk, sorry. I think, do you get what I'm saying? Like, are you eating standard American or are you eating like keto? That's my question. Let us know, and then maybe we can answer this better. But maybe do beef, butter, bacon, and eggs for 30 to 90 days and see how that helps. That might help you to go full carnivore. What about you, Kipp?
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought up the point too about the vegetables and stuff, because like, because I'm not gonna sit here and tell people like they're
Yeah,
wrong if they want to do like ketovore or even
right.
like clean keto. So
Yeah,
like, I'm carnivore, but at the same time, like, I got mad respect for people that are keto or ketovore, and
sure.
like there's a lot of them that are subscribed to my channel, and so I would love to see it if you're at least doing either keto or ketovore. What bothers me a lot of times is all the little keto snacks and stuff like that that like is
Right,
made in a box. I like to see people be more like uh whole foods based, eating real food, something that
right.
like comes from either nature, like either an animal, or at least it was grown out of the ground, instead of something that's in cereal in a box or something that says keto cereal, you
Oh,
know,
yeah,
'cause
that's a joke. That's not even keto.
yeah, but to a lot of people, whenever they go in the grocery store, because it says keto, they think, "Oh, yeah, I'm good," and, like, I'm like, "No, that's not real food."
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so Sally at 9:36 uh has more to this at 9:36.
Let me see here.
Sure.
My internet is being slow. I just love this internet. I think this is the question right here.
Yeah, this is the other. So some junk. So
So is that it?
Yeah, 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 some junk. So I'm guessing junk is like standard American food, and always my answer to that is get it out of the house and eat more meat. I always feel better eating meat. Get the standard American junk out of the house so you're not tempted by it, and that's going to help. And then don't buy it in the grocery store. There you go. That's my
Yeah.
recommendation.
Yeah,
uh,
and, B Meats, he says, "Too bad that Dave Mack isn't on here."
I
Dave
know we
will
love Dave.
be on. Yeah, and we're doing a live stream tomorrow night, and it's gonna be me, Sean from Intentional Carnivore. This is a little plug for it, so y'all come watch that as well. It's gonna
Hmm.
be me, Sean from Intentional Carnivore, Dave from No Carb Life, uh, Dr. Anthony Chafee, y'all know who he is, and then Larry from Carnivore Quest is gonna be on there as well. So y'all definitely come check that out as well. And we love Dave. Dave was actually he gave me my very first interview. So that just speaks volumes about the kind of guy that Dave is. Like
Hmm.
he reaches out to people even when they don't have many subscribers. Because it's easy to reach out to people whenever they've got tons and tons of subscribers and you're trying to, whatever, but like he reaches out to all kinds of people regardless of if you've got a few subscribers or not, and he's a good dude.
He's great.
Let's see here.
Let's
Oh, and I
see.
loved y'all's interview that y'all did with Bellshine.
Yeah. That was
That
just
was
funny. I'll be with I'm another plug. I'll be with Dave 6:30 Sunday. We're doing a live stream. 6:30 Sunday night. Y'all are invited. There you
and
go.
is
There's a Joyce
yeah, sure,
Butler
absolutely.
question.
Everybody needs to go watch it. Let's see here. You want to read it?
Yeah, Joyce. I am carnivore, but I have a problem with constipation. Does that mean I need more butter? I know it is not because of cheese because I can't eat it. Possibly or more fat. However, more animal fat will help with that. Absolutely. And I'm curious how long you've been doing carnivore because that should resolve soon enough. But yeah, more animal fat will help that. But it would be good if you got the animal fat like with your food also. But yeah, butter will help if you eat too much. If you eat enough, it might take it to the other
Yeah,
extreme.
if they eat a stick, I'm not saying they need to eat a stick of butter, but if they eat a stick of butter, they won't be constipated for long. But
Yeah, this is true.
but yeah, but honestly, I do agree though that like you pay attention to the meats that you are eating because are the meats
Yeah,
that you eating are they fatty enough? Like you want to make sure to eat like things like ribeye and things that's got hunks of fat on it, like chuck roast and different meat options like that. Or when you eat hamburger meat, get some that's a fattier, like I do 80/20 or sometimes 73, whatever it is. But I don't get the leanest stuff that you can get. Get fattier cuts of meat, and that should help you. And then cook in tallow if you want to, or cook in
right.
lard, and definitely use butter to your advantage. But you can have too much, and
Yeah.
you can have the runs pretty quick.
The other thing I want to say that just another point to look at is on constipation, like do you feel constipated like when you're actually on the toilet? Do you feel constipated or are you just pooping less in general? So that's something to look at because it's normal to
Mhm.
poop less when you're just eating meat. When we're eating a standard American diet or a high carbohydrate diet, we're pooping all the time. And that's not necessarily supposed to go. So if you do have constipation, that's our answers are that. But if you don't actually feel constipated, you're just pooping less, I wouldn't worry about that. So I just wanted to add that. Kimberly has a question at 9:37. Kimberly Lane.
9:37.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Okay, I see it. Oh, it's easier to find those ones that are back like that, the questions, because my internet's lagging a little bit. So the ones that are a
Okay.
couple minutes behind are a lot easier to find.
Okay.
You can, or let's see, what changed your mind about carnivore? Like at some point, you probably thought it was a crazy idea, right? What was the final straw? where you said, "Okay, I'll try it"? For me, it was, I had done keto multiple times. I feel like I'd done keto like every other week. Like I would do keto and then I would jump off and eat carbs and do keto and jump off and
Mhm.
eat carbs. And a lot of it was all the sweets, like the Rebel ice cream and things like that. And
Mhm.
like it would make me want the real ice cream because I mean, you get them right there in the same section beside each other. So I'm sitting here looking at the Rebel ice cream and I'm like, but they got Bluebell ice cream right here beside it. And so the things like
Right.
that, tough decisions to make, so
Yeah, exactly,
but
exactly.
but I had listened to Dr. Berry multiple times from whenever I was doing keto, and he talked about giving carnivore a try, and carnivore he had good success with it and everything. So I was like, I've watched him for a long time. I need to try something different because my daughter, she was getting older, and I was worried about being able to do the simple things in life with her. So I decided to give it a try in January, and I haven't looked back. I've loved it. What about
Yeah.
you?
Yes, so yes, I thought it was crazy at first, and I thought it was not for me just to eat only meat because I need to eat those vegetables. So, but watching enough Dr. Barry and then listening to various podcasts from Dr. Chafee, it started slowly changing my mind. And then when I was almost 210 pounds and just hating that, I said, nope, starting March 1st, I'm doing this. But the funny thing is, I just knew that it was going to work. It wasn't even, okay, I'll try it. I'm like, this is going to work. So, but I tried it March 1st and I did start my YouTube channel then. There is a question from Roger. Yes. So I will be live 6:30 Central Sunday night, which is the 9th of July with Dave Mack at No Carb Life.
And I'll be live at 9 o'clock Central Time, which is 8 o'clock Eastern Time,
No, no, you said that
with
backwards. No, no, no.
Dave.
I think that's backwards. I
What'd
think
you
you're
say?
nine. I think that's backwards. I think it's 9 Eastern, 8 Central.
Yes, that's
I
correct. Yes,
Okay, good. I
yes.
just want.
See, that's what friends are for. She corrected
Yeah,
me. So,
I'm sorry.
yes, so it'll be 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central with uh the group that I've been teaming up with recently. And so we'll be
Yeah,
doing that tomorrow night, and y'all don't want to miss that as well. Let's see
that is
here.
definitely gonna be awesome.
Yeah, let's see. Oh, and Monkey said Dr. Chafee says it straight up that in most cases, if you're constipated, more fat. If you have diarrhea, less fat. Yeah, you can use fat as like your little lever on. If you're not having enough, you might be constipated, and if you're having too much, you might have the runs. So you just got to find that balance for you.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly, exactly.
let's see.
Any other questions? Or Kip, did you have any other questions
I'm
for
trying to see
me?
if there's any other. I'm trying to see if there's. Let me see. I don't know. I have a I had a list, but so uh, do you have any next goal for like? Are you a person that likes to do like small little goals along the way, or do you like to think more like big picture? Do you have like something that you're reaching for, like next
Short
on
term?
carnivore, like weight loss? Huh?
Yeah, every pound is a win. Every pound is my next goal, but not really. What I would like to do is I want to see in September what happens with uh, my thyroid blood tests and see how low I can get that A1C. So I have it somewhere on my computer. I don't know what it is. I mean, I'm not diabetic or pre-diabetic, but I still think that A1C can get lower than it is. There we go. Oh, someone's so cute. They
Yeah,
put
it
in
probably can.
your
And
yeah.
they put in what?
They put in Miss Perfectly Imperfect Keto. Put in your live stream at 9:46 for everybody. The link.
Yes, thank you for doing that. I appreciate you putting
Yeah.
that in there for sure. Uh, also I wanna ask you too, like, have you ever thought about going to any of, like, the keto conferences or any of the, like, the cruises or anything like that that they do? Have you thought about doing that one year?
Yeah, I always think about doing that, but it's a little more expensive for me because I'm here. Like, I know
Well,
there's one with
it's expensive in
Sean and
general.
oh, okay, yeah. Sean, Intentional Carnivore, and Carnivore Quest are doing something. I'm like, I wish I can go, but that's all right. That's all right. I'll watch it on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm gonna do everything in my power to be there for one of the days. They're doing like a 3-day meetup or
Oh,
whatever,
nice.
and it's in South Carolina, and I live in Alabama. It's like a 6.5 hour drive, but I'm gonna
Okay.
try to make it to one of the days to go hang out with them because I talk to them all the time. I just haven't been able. I see where Joyce Butler just said you've got to go to Keto Palooza. I've seen a lot of people talk about Keto Palooza too, but it's just if I had an unlimited budget, I would go to all that stuff. But I mean, I
Yeah.
have to just do a little at a time and do what fits in my budget or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
The carnivore, I mean, it's not called carnivore cruise, but the low carb cruise that seems like that would be fun to go on as well.
That would be fun to go on. That would be a lot of fun.
But the tickets to it's not very cheap because I've looked at the tickets and it's not the cheapest thing. So
And you gotta
uh,
fly there, right? Or you can just drive.
yeah, I can drive there because it's like I think they live in South Florida, and that's probably
Oh,
like a 8
okay.
hour it's like a 8 hour drive, so I could drive or I could fly, it's just up to me. I would probably just drive it and leave my car at the, cruise port.
That's good. And Joyce Butler says she could swing by and pick you up at 9:49.
Oh, so she's just gonna where does I wonder where Joyce lives at, 'cause if she lives close, she could just pick me up and just take me to Keto Palooza. That'd be cool.
That yeah, that'd be cool.
I
Okay,
forget what state it's in. Is it in, like, Nebraska or something?
I don't
I can't
know.
remember where I cannot remember where it's at, but I've heard a lot about it or whatever. But anyway, I don't want to keep everybody on here. It's already like 9:50,
Oh,
and
wow.
so yeah, I know a lot of people, including me. I have to work tomorrow. Do you work tomorrow?
Yep, 7 a.m.
I have to be there and we're both on Central Time. I have to be at work at 6:30.
Oh, wow.
So
Oh, wow.
yeah, so
So
but,
we should
it was good talking with
call it a
you. It was
do.
great talking with
Yeah.
you on here, and I do wanna make sure everybody that watches my channel, y'all know I know it's so cliche to say this, to go subscribe to somebody's channel, but, like, me and Alia have became really good friends ever since I started my channel,
Yeah.
like, shortly after I started my channel, so it would mean a great deal to me if y'all would go check out her channel after this live stream and give her a subscribe. That really means a lot to me. You,
And to
Alia,
me.
you just keep doing what you're, yeah, and her and Alia, you just keep doing what you're doing because you're inspiring people as well.
Oh, thank
Did you
you.
have
I hope
anything you wanted
so.
to add before we end the live stream?
Thanks so much, everyone, for coming here. And I want to say we got your back. If you're on the carnivore journey or even keto or ketovore, we got your back. And we want to help everybody and inspire everybody and just keep going. If you fall off the wagon, just get back on. There's no, what is it? No harm, no foul. Like, don't worry, just keep going. Yeah. Thank you everybody for being here. And thank you, Mrs. Perfectly Imperfect Keto, for putting my link here in the comments. I love that. Thank you so much.
Yes, absolutely. I missed her when she was gone. I'm glad that she's back because she's awesome as well. But anyway, it was great talking with everybody, and I hope everyone has a great rest of your evening. Try to get
Yes.
some sleep tonight.
Yes.
Y'all have a great one.
Yeah. Good night.
Good night.